Centennial Park is celebrating 100 years of women voting. That means special events with statues, parachuters, and even the Parthenon exhibit are all around celebrating the history of women voting. Like the women of 1920, 5 of our Kidsville volunteers will be voting in their first presidential election this year, 100 years later. These 5 women toured the Nashville Parthenon exhibit. You can see it online and in person. There are artifacts that were special to people in Nashville, also to the women explored in the exhibit, even a voting box from 1920. You can even play dress up, what it would be like to be a part of the suffrage cause in 1920, and making yellow roses. Let's meet our volunteers and hear what they had to say about their time with the exhibit.
Hi, my name is Jasmine.
I'm Jessica.
And we're both students at Vanderbilt University. This is going to be our first presidential election that we're voting in for both of us. To me, voting is really important, just because there's been so many people in the past who have fought for that right for us to vote, for just so many different types of people different races, people different genders, obviously, and that's something that I don't really take lightly. I feel like a lot of people think, oh, it's just, we vote and it's what we do, and so it's kind of optional. But to me, it's not something that I view as optional, just because I feel like as a member of my community, I want to have some sort of impact on what happens and who gets to decide what happens. And I feel like voting is one of those ways that I can really make a difference.
So when thinking about voting rights, I think it's also very important to think about intersectionality and the many different types of women who help to gain the right to vote in fighting for that struggle within Nashville and nationally.
Yeah, I was looking at the exhibit website, and they mentioned Juno Frankie Pierce, who I think is really inspirational because she did have such a focus on education and how that can be something that really brings to light the issues that we need to be voting for. And that's something that it's really personal to me because I'm an education major. And as someone who really wants to be a teacher, I think it's really important that we don't just kind of ignore kids in this conversation. And even though they're not eligible to vote yet, they can still get to know the world around them and how that system works, so that when they get to the age where they are eligible to vote, they're excited and they know kind of what they stand for and what they want to see in their elected officials.
There's definitely strength in diversity, and teaching that to younger generations so that we can move forward and what we want to be as a country is definitely very important for the future of America.
I really resonated with the 1900s ballot box from the suffragist exhibit because I felt that the strength and rigidity that the box brought, as well as the security from the 4 locks, really reminded me about the sanctity of voting and how each vote matters so much in our democracy today. I felt that the box really acknowledged the security and privacy that voting brings and requires, but it also brought to light the importance of voting and exercising our rights as American citizens.
This is really moving to me because it says that the women put aside their differences to fight for a common goal, which is so amazing that they could fight together for women's suffrage. I feel like I'm part of it.
Hi, my name is Lily and I am going to be a first-time voter this year, and I am just so excited to be able to have a say in our government. I think it's so important that each individual here gets to have a say, just because we all have different life experiences, different situations, and that's just going to come out in how we vote. And so because of these 4 women that are being honored at the Parthenon and through this exhibit, we women have a chance to use our votes and take action about what we believe in, and I think that is the coolest thing ever.
We are so thankful to each of our Kidsville team members that participated: Jasmine, Sharia, Vivian, Lily, and Jessica. Thank you for sharing your stories and your excitement for 2020.
I made a yellow rose to represent the bright spirit of the women who fought for our suffrage and to represent my joy for being a voting American woman.
I would pick a pink flower, just because I feel like, pink is the stereotypical girly color, and I feel like for the conversation now has been a lot of girl power, do whatever you want, you don't have to like pink. And so I went through a phase where I just stopped liking pink and I just rejected everything pink, and I hated that because then I realized, yeah, it's a stereotype, but that doesn't mean that I have to dislike it just because it's a color. It's still a color that, it's a fun color. It does, to a lot of people, represent femininity, and even though anyone can wear pink, anyone can enjoy pink. I don't think that we should also reject pink, because I love pink. See what I'm wearing, I love pink.
I do a pink flower too. I think flowers symbolize growth, they symbolize beauty, they symbolize, you know, the natural progression of things starting from a beginning, like from a small seed to something that can grow bigger and bigger. So pink flowers, there are probably some around here. They're somewhere, like by lilies and things like that, but really symbolizing strength and femininity, and how pink is not something weak or demure. It's something that you can really reclaim to say, hey, this is something strong. It's another sign of strength.